It's been a fair while since I've done a movie haul or showing off anything new in my collection. Um, I have bought new movies. Some of them aren't really that interesting. I mean, come on now, nobody really wants to see The Love Guru, do they? I mean, that film was absolute garbage. But I have a few films here, in no particular order, staring right there. And we're going to go through them. And some of these I got fairly ridiculously cheap. So you don't have to break the bank to have some good movies in your collection. Anyways, I'm waffling, let's crack on. Starting off with a classic that I used to watch all the time on TV and was constantly borrowing my friend's DVD of this, yet I never owned it, which is really bizarre. It's Tim Burton's Beetlejuice. Now, I haven't seen the new movie yet, and I really need to get on that and pre-order my copy of it on Amazon or wherever. But I absolutely love this movie. I loved it growing up. Michael Keaton's fantastic as Beetlejuice. He's probably the most iconic 80s character since Freddy Krueger or any of those sort of slasher villains. He's not a slasher villain, but you know what I'm trying to say. He's that iconic. He sort of fits in that same category. Gina Davis is great in this as well. Winona Ryder also. Really wacky, just really gothic in places and dark, and yeah, it's just great fun all around. The comedy's very funny and very jet black as well at times. So yeah, if you haven't got this in collection, get it cheap. So this one I've wanted to own for a while. It's Todd Phillips' Joker. Now, I haven't put off buying this movie at all. I have watched it repeatedly on my then girlfriend's TV, and obviously on the, what was it she had, like TiVo, I think, I forget now, but it was like a streaming service you could watch films on, and I watched it constantly, and I don't know, it kind of brings back bad memories of a relationship I don't want to return to. You know what I mean? I had it in the collection because I really liked the movie. I thought the casting was great, the locations were beautiful, the way it looks, sounds are all top notch. But it just brings back bad vibes. But I thought, you know what, it's been a good few years now. I thought, why don't we just get it back and watch it again? And I have watched it since, and yeah, it's still really good. I haven't seen Folie à Deux yet, but I've been trying to avoid it. You know what I mean? Because, well, it's been absolutely canned by critics. But give it 10 years, and people will think, yeah, okay, this is really good. Who knows? I don't know. Maybe I'm waffling. I definitely am. But yeah, Joker is really good. Joaquin Phoenix is amazing in it. De Niro's really good as, I forget his name now. Is it Murray Summit? I forget now, but he plays Murray, the TV presenter, who basically takes a piss out of him, and he goes off the fucking rails, which obviously we've all known and seen. It's been memed. This film has been memed to death, and I think it's definitely going to be a classic in years' time. Yeah, good stuff. Up next is a film that I used to watch all the time on VHS for some reason, and I never, like the same thing with Beetlejuice, I never bothered to get a copy of it years later or anything like that, but here we go. It's Van Helsing, isn't it? This film is absolutely off the wall. What can I say about it off the cuff, really? It's basically a love letter to Universal Studios monster movies like Frankenstein, Dracula, Jekyll and Hyde, all those sort of really iconic characters, and putting them into some sort of I don't know how to describe it. I guess like a Destroy All Monsters kind of situation where you have all these different characters all on one screen, and sometimes they help each other, sometimes they don't. Dracula's an evil bastard, but yeah, this one is just pure gothic horror, non-stop. That doesn't make any sense what I just said, but it's hard to describe it because it goes all over the place and it kind of outstays its welcome a little bit. I do like Hugh Jackman as a werewolf. That was a really cool touch, and just the look of it all is just beautiful, and it still really holds up. So yeah, 20 years later, Van Helsing is still getting re-releases. So if you haven't seen it, really give it a watch if you love monster movies of the 30s and 40s with a modern twist. Would recommend. Up next is a very surprising one because I didn't expect this to come in a still case. I bought this for £1 on Amazon, and well, it's Tim Burton again as Sweeney Todd. I have a funny relationship with this film. I do really like it. However, the musical element kind of pulls me out of it a little bit. But as I've got older, I really appreciate it. It's something completely unique. They could have just gone with a straight narrative structure of just, Sweeney Todd the demon barber, and just had, made it very generic, but the musical element makes it really unique and quirky. And I really like it. The set design is just disgusting. That sort of old London Victorian setting that Tim Burton is really good at recreating. It's all in here, and as I've, like I said, as I got older, I've really appreciated this more. And I didn't expect it to be in a steelbook. I mean, the inside of it looks gorgeous as well. I'll take this out in a minute. Like, the inside is also really nice as well. So yeah, for a couple of quid, you can't really go wrong with that. Returning back to monster movies again, this is Victor Frankenstein, a really underrated film from 2015, because it come out and I'd seen it in cinemas and I thought it was great. I mean, James McAvoy in this is great as Victor Frankenstein, and Daniel Radcliffe, who played bloody Harry Potter, went on to do some really weird roles after playing Harry Potter. He plays Guns Akimbo. He was the Swiss Iron Man, I think, as well, and he's also in this. He plays Igor, Frankenstein's assistant. This is awesome because if you've ever read the book, it's very dark, obviously, duh. But there's a character in it called, the monster's called the Prometheus in this film, and it kind of has that sort of like disgusting medical Victorian era kind of thing where like medical science was just in its infancy, and it's all very crudely put together, and they have like failed experiments with like this monkey that sort of goes ape shit, no pun intended, but it's all a bit gross and disgusting, and it's a bit it feels a bit nasty. But this was incredibly underrated. I get why people didn't like it at the time, but on like repeat watches, I think, yeah, this is actually a really interesting twist on the Frankenstein mythos, I guess, in a way. But yeah, really awesome stuff. And yeah, again, watch it if you haven't seen it. Now, this was to be expected, of course, but it had to be done. Terrifier 1 and 2. What isn't to say about the Terrifier series that hasn't already been said? The third one is absolutely insane. The first two are really, really good as well. The second one is also, I think, up there with being the best in the series, but 3 just sort of topples it over. These are fantastic dark comedy films. I would call them dark comedy films because there is dark comedy. Art the Clown provides the dark comedy. If he didn't react like a mime, then there would be zero comedy of this at all. Like, it all comes down to him. Now, I know that they're going to release all 3 movies in one collection, but I don't care. I just wanted to own them as they were, and I'll buy the 3rd one when it comes out on Blu-ray. So yeah, absolutely love the series, and hopefully with the 4th one it gets even more ridiculous and more gorier and more just outlandish. But yeah, all hell Art the Clown. I would show off more, and I try not to buy movies that much anymore because I just simply have no space. See, look, no space. No space. Zero space. Okay, there's a little bit of space, but ignore the dust.